All right, everyone, welcome to another Radio Free Cybertron review. This is a review I was super excited to get to you guys. This, of course, is Masterpiece Wheeljack. On the top of the box here, you can see MP20. He's a Cybertron mechanical engineer, Wheeljack. The typical Masterpiece car box that we've been getting out of Asia. Down at the bottom, a whole bunch of Asian writing. I really do like the colors on the box. They did a real nice job. Lancia, of course, is the car that Wheeljack is modeled after. A nice picture of the car, Lancia Stratos Turbo on the one side, and then on the other side, you have a really nice picture of Wheeljack holding his gun and his shoulder cannon on there. Um, and then on the back, you see a comparison with him in Prime, the standard Masterpiece car coming out of the back of Optimus Prime's trailer, uh, and then everything he comes with down here on the corner. Pretty nice little box. All right, let's get this guy opened. Let's see what side. Gonna pull him out of the tray here. Get the box out of the way. And you see he comes in the typical plastic tray with his gun and his missiles, which you can combine. His mirrors, rearview mirrors, are actually missing, and I was a little nervous at first, but they're actually in the package with the card and the instructions, and they don't look like mirrors. They actually look kind of like roll bars, but they actually break off. So you actually have two sets of mirrors here, which is kind of nice, I guess, if you lose one set or something. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break one of those sets out, and we'll put them on when we get Wheeljack out of package here. So here's Wheeljack out of package. Front view. I was really nervous about this guy. I was worried that the paint was going to be an issue with so many combinations, red and green and the white. I mean, they're just pretty close together. And if you guys can remember the recent Roadbuster or the very first Masterpiece car that we got, Sideswipe, that there were some paint issues. I must say, altogether, the paint on this guy is really nice. There are one or two spots on mine. Right up by the Autobot symbol, you can see there's a little crack in the white paint. But other than that, I mean, there's really no bleed through on the red or anything. It's really a really nice job. Really like this Masterpiece Wheeljack. Just in car mode alone, you got the red rims. The underneath of the car, you can't even tell that it's a robot. Really nice job. Really nice. And his gun, his small gun, we'll take it out of package right here. That can actually clip in, and it can only clip in one way, but it can clip onto the back here, the underside, just like that. And that's actually going to give him a little tailpipe. And he still rolls even with that sticking out of the back. Really nice job. Really excited about this. What we'll do is we'll pop his missile out too. To combine his missile, there's two slots, one on each side, and they just slide in. Come on. Oops, putting it in the wrong way. It slides through the back there. That's his gun, and it's actually on a pivot, so it can go up or down. Now you can pop this into the top of the car here, there's a slot right here that's actually has a piece sticking in it. So it gives you a nice view of the, you don't have to see that ugly hole. Push that in. You can actually tilt up, tilt down just a little bit. Pull that out. You'll see that hole that I'm talking about that it created up top there. And what you can do real quick to alleviate that in car mode, you can just disconnect the back and flip that piece back up. That way it's not showing. Here we're going to take the mirrors. We'll just try and work these mirrors off of these. They'll just plug in. So it's definitely nice they give you an extra set of mirrors, just in case these happen to break off. I don't think they should, but I guess there's always the possibility, or you lose one while you're trying to put it on. That's happened before too. So all right, before we get down to the transformation, I'll show you what else comes in the little pack. Of course, you got the Masterpiece card, MPO20 Wheeljack. It's not credit card stock, it's like thick paper, and it has his tech specs on it. But also, you got this little, I don't know what that says, but it's there. And then also the instructions, which on the one side are not actually instructions at all. It just goes over the vehicle, some nice shots of it, side, front, and back. Action shot up here. This shows you where the accessories go. All right, where the accessories go, and down here where his extra gun goes, where his gun goes. And then on the back is the instructions. Oh, there was also tech specs on this side, which I thought was nice. Right here: strength, intelligence, speed, endurance, rank, courage, fire blast, and skill. Uh, so really everything you need is on the instruction sheet. Now, there are some areas on the instruction sheet where it makes it look like you want to pull on the gray parts and you actually want to pull on the light parts. Um, so they are a little confusing, but hopefully this review will help you guys. That way you don't even have to pay attention to the instructions, uh, since I went ahead already and did that for you. All right, let's get this guy transformed. First thing you want to do is you're going to take the front bumper area and you're going to wheel it out just a little bit. That way you can straighten it out and it actually goes up like that, and you'll hear a little bit of a click because there is a ratchet in there. So now that we have the car just like that, next thing that I did is you just want to pop this this front windshield clips in at the front right there. There's two clips. You just want to pop that windshield off a little bit. I got the one side. There we go. Now that we have that windshield popped off, we can actually pull the legs all the way out. just like so. Then you can come down here to the feet, straighten the feet out. And I thought this was pretty neat. There's a lot of neat stuff going on with this guy. Um, straighten both the feet out. This heel piece, or this piece right here, actually rotates around uh, to become the bottom part, the back part of his foot and his heel, which will give him really nice stability when you're standing him up. And then the leg panels right here will come out around the back to try and show this. They're actually going to rotate out, rotate this piece around, and then you turn it to the back side and peg it in. There's a little peg right there that pegs into the back of his leg. You can see that fills out the foot on the side there. You can put the foot down as much as possible, or you could have it up a little bit. It's depending on how tall you want to make him. I think that's kind of neat. You can adjust the height of your Wheeljack according to what you remember or what you think he should be. Just peg that in. I'm going to put the feet all the way down, at least till we get him transformed. So there you have the bottom of Wheeljack. Next thing you want to do is you want to pull the waist out and all the way down. And then there's a little tab right there that's actually going to peg in to the top right above his crotch piece. And then the next thing you want to do is get Wheeljack's head out. And the way you do that is you take this section and open it up right at the top. And then down at the bottom here. And then the head just flips around just like so. Close that. That all tabs back in together. And then what we have to do is we have to come to the back of Wheeljack. Now there's a lot of panels that slide around and move on this. It's pretty neat. First you want to pop this panel, which would be like the back window area. Pop that off or up, and then the arms just come out to the side here. Now what you can do with the hands or the arms, you can bring them around, come around here to the back, pop the gun off real quick. That's kind of getting in the way. This little piece right here, which is one of his tailpipes, we'll just flip that down. You can see they actually clip into the little wings there, or antennas, or I don't know what you call it on this guy. And then this is one thing where the instructions kind of got a little confusing on. These panels are very, I don't think they're going to break, but if you force them, they're not going to. It tells you to lift these panels up, and it looks like they want you to flip them around. You actually don't need to do that. All you need to do is actually turn these panels. And of course, it's hard because I flipped this one up. Turn these panels around. Just like so. And now those panels are already out of the way. The arms can now flip, or the wheels can now flip all the way in, so the arms are out to the side. And then what you want to do is there's a double hinge on the back right here. Make sure that double hinge is up like that. That way that'll give you access to flip the arms in to the side of the body. And the windshield they'll tab in right where the windshield is. Or they don't actually tab, they just kind of sit there. right there. You see the little slot, and there's a little tab coming off the windshield, but they don't actually tab in. They just kind of sit in that groove, just like so. And then on the back here, you come around, and there's a tab right here that tabs into the back right there. And all we have to do is finish off the arms. The way you do that is, first we're going to do is flip this panel up and then flip the arm out. And then the hand has to be turned around. And now you're going to see his hand is actually backwards because this is the back of the arm. Then what you're going to do is rotate the whole arm around. And that allows him to bend at the elbow. Same thing on this side. Bring this panel around first. You kind of want to lift the panel so it goes around the corner right there. That way you don't risk damaging the paint. Or you can flip the arm down just a little bit to give it to that gap to flip the arm around. Then straighten out the arm on this, straighten out the hand on this side. Rotate it around. And then rotate the whole arm around. And there you have Wheeljack in his robot mode. As you can see, there's a lot of plain black plastic in here, which I think is why a lot of the shots have him with his gun in the air, and his hand kind of like this. It kind of hides all that black plastic that's going on. But he's still an excellent figure. There's some great engineering going on this guy. As far as put his shoulder cannon in, and then the gun actually has a peg where it can just peg into his hand. And the way I always like to do these ones that have the peg, you kind of just rotate them in and they'll pop right in, and then you can close the hand. So these are the poses you've seen a lot. So Wheeljack kind of with his gun in the air, ready to go. And it really looks good like that. As far as articulation goes, his head is actually on a joint to allow it to go up and down. It's not a ball joint. It's a peg. So he can look down very tiny bit, but he can look up very far. And then his head can rotate side to side. It can do a whole, 360 if you want it to. Really like the face sculpt on this guy. Bring it in close. Nice blue eyes. Again, overall for a masterpiece figure, the paint is actually better than I expected. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty close to perfect. I mean, it's definitely better than I thought I would get from this guy with all these colors. Articulation wise, sorry, we're still doing articulation. His arms are really, everything on mine is pretty tight. There's nothing loose, which is nice. The one part you definitely want to be careful with are his little plastic panels, antennas back there. His arms can do a full 360. They can go out 90 degrees. Bicep swivel. Bend at the elbows. It's not double jointed, but he can get a 90-degree bend out of it. Hands can do a complete 360 if you want them to. All the fingers are still together, molded together. Kind of looks like that index finger could move on its own, but it doesn't. Um, Hips can do a full 360. His legs can only go out about that far. It's still not bad. And then he can almost do a 90-degree bend at the knee. And then the foot does pivot pretty far. So you can get really wide stances with him. And I really like the way that looks looking at it on camera. Definitely very, very stable. You really have to push him to get him to fall over. And overall, just really nice. Like I said, if you wanted to, you'd probably make him a little bit taller just by extending these here. We'll give him a little bit of a gap in the foot. But again, that will make him a little bit taller just in case you're looking for a taller Wheeljack. And to do a size comparison, I'll bring in his other white, or mostly white, Masterpiece Brothers. Here you have him with Prowl, Wheeljack in the center, of course, and Red Alert. Now let me, put his foot down to what I think the normal position should be, just to give you an idea. We'll stand him pretty much straight up. And as you can see, he fits in perfect uh, with these guys. I actually saw a picture where he looked taller, um, but actually next to Red Alert and Prowl, the way I have them, they're all almost perfectly uh, same height right at the head. So, I mean, these guys just look really good together. And then just to get another masterpiece in here, here's Grimlock. Of course, Grimlock has his shoes on, but here's Grimlock with his shoes. Just tilt that up a little bit. So, all in all, I can't be happier with this masterpiece. Uh, so let's get these guys out of the way. I want to thank you guys for watching the review. It's been a couple weeks, I think, since I've actually gotten a review out there, but there wasn't anything I was super excited about getting out to you guys, and just getting Wheeljack today. I think he shipped like 2 days ago. I can't believe I got him this fast. It was really amazing how quick he came. Um, I just wanted to get this thing out to you guys right away. Also, we are selling Radio Free Cybertron shirts. So definitely go on to www.booster.com/Radio Free Cybertron if you're interested in picking up one of our shirts. They're for a limited time only, and we need 50 people to sign up to actually get the shirts printed. So if you like Radio Free Cybertron, if you like our reviews, please definitely help us out by going and picking up a shirt. We're not really making any money off them. We just want to get those shirts out there. If we bought them individually, they'd be about $40 a piece. But by doing the booster campaign and getting 50 shirts out there, they'll actually reduce it to about $20 a shirt, which is really good value for a high quality shirt. Like Wheeljack, he's got a bunch of colors on the front and actually 2 colors on the back. So you definitely want to check that out. And now that I'm done rambling about shirts, let's go on to his transformation back into vehicle mode. Now, actually, vehicle mode for me was a little bit more difficult than going into robot mode. But basically, you do everything in reverse. The same thing. The first thing you want to do, come down to the hands, or come to the arms. We'll rotate them around. And you want to flip the hand back. Yeah. Flip the hands around first. Then you can rotate the hand in. And then this panel, you're actually going to have to bring that around yourself too. But some reason I think it's easier to bring these panels around first. And then we'll bring this single white panel around by itself. There you go. That way his arm is now the back of his vehicle. Same thing on this side. Remember, if you rotate that hand down just a little bit, it'll give you the right clearance you need when you turn around the back of the spoiler. Rotate that white panel in. Now what you're going to do is unpeg back here. Unpeg his little window. And this is actually on a spring. I don't know why, but it's nice. And we can bring this whole section back. And what you want to do first is you want to rotate these panels back. Problem is, if you bend them too much, they're really hard to get down. So you want to try and keep these panels as straight as possible when you're turning them around. It just makes everything a lot easier. And you can actually bring this panel up and lock those into place in that back panel. Then the arms, bring them back down into place. Same thing on this side. Then when you lift this panel up, that'll be enough clearance just to slide these arms in. And then everything actually locks in. This back panel holds these sides real tight. Just like so. And again, come down to the front, open up the chest, take Jackie's head, spin it around, close the chest back up, and I'm going to unpeg it from the hips too. We're going to rotate the hips. This can lock into place. This has a really nice click. It stays in there really tight. Rotate the hips back up. And it just kind of compacts everything. Now with the legs, go back down to the legs. We're going to unpop the back of these, untab these. And then these panels actually flip around and rotate out. Yeah, actually you hear them clip in. Same thing on this side. Pop these out, rotate them around. Be careful because of the paint and the mirrors. And then they'll just pop in. The feet, I'm actually not going to put together yet, but I will bring these panels back around because they make the inside of the foot. And then all you want to do is you want to collapse the legs, peg that windshield back in. Then there's a little peg back by the wheel here that'll sit in there. Same thing on this side. And now when I peg this together, I'm going to make sure the feet are also lined up. Or now the front of the car. Peg the windshield in. Make sure the legs pushed in down at the back. And then the front bumper just folds down. Why is that not folding right? It just collapses on itself. And there you have Wheeljack back in vehicle mode. Been a long day. I almost called it robot mode. But obviously this is vehicle mode. And then as you can see, I was worried about the mirrors in transformation just because of the fact that they gave you two sets. But I actually didn't have any problems with the mirrors during transformation. I thought, there might be a possibility they would break off, and that's why they gave us two, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Then if you want, you can take the extra gun and just plug that in the back right there. And there you have whoa, come back. There you have Masterpiece Wheeljack. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like us on Facebook, friend us on Facebook, circle us on Google+, follow us on Twitter at TF Radio. You can also follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to go check out the Booster site for the t-shirts, www.booster.com/Radio Free Cybertron. Pick up a t-shirt to support the show and the reviews. And hopefully if you're going to TFCon Chicago, we'll see you at TFCon Chicago at the end of October.